This morning. We have just come off a big weekend, and I know there was a lot of Christmas decorating going on this weekend, just from what I can see on Facebook and all of that. I can say honestly that I was a little lazy this weekend and I did not get my Christmas decorations up, but it's on the works for this week. So we will get it done. I always like to get it up right around Thanksgiving, and then I take it down the 1st of January. That's just kind of who I am. But I always like to clean before I put up my Christmas decorations. Who's with me? So, I mean, like really clean, like get the floors done, everything. So who's with me on that? So that is what I spent most of the weekend doing, is I just cleaned the house from top to bottom, like I was having company over, but wasn't actually having company over. But I like to get that done once a month, get the whole house clean from top to bottom, and then I can just kind of write it out. And then I looked at other things that need to be done, like doing windows and doing all of that kind of stuff. So that'll all come and be part of it here soon. But that brings me into living frugally doesn't mean you can't have a maid. Here's how. So I just want to, number one, I want you to remember what living frugally is. It doesn't mean that you're cheap and you just don't spend any money. Living frugally means you just spend money on what is important to you. So if you need to have that somebody come in a couple times a month, once a week, whatever it being, to help you keep up on that, I don't see that there's any reason to say you're not living frugal because you have a maid, because you have hired somebody to come in and help you where you know it's weak. All right. If you're working a full-time job and still trying to get everything done, it's difficult. Trust me, it is difficult to get everything done. And my house isn't always as clean as I would like to see it be, just because I just don't have time. I work a job, I work 2 jobs, and I just don't have time. So just remember, frugal means that you are spending it's not that you're not spending money, it's just that you're spending money on what is important to you. The second, running a household is like running a business. Think about that. Running a household is like running a business. Why do I say that? Well, if you were in an office, so if your home was an office, you would have to have somebody come in and clean that office at least once every couple weeks, and it's just something that gets budgeted in. So just get it budgeted in, and if that's what you want to do, that was also my number 4, was get it budgeted in. If it's something that you want and it just absolutely makes your life a whole lot easier and your mental space better, budget it in. Running your household is like running a business, and you have to have somebody come in and clean. Especially some people have people that come in and cook for them. That's what they choose to do. So maybe that's what you want to do, is have somebody come in, 3 or 4 times a week and cook for you so you don't have to worry about it. But some people do that. Some people like to have a maid. Maybe if you are trying to be frugal, just limit how much you have them come, and you try to keep up with it on the other time. So maybe you have somebody come in twice a month that's going to mop the floor, clean the toilets, clean the shower, do all of those time-consuming stuff that doesn't need to be done every day, but it's something that needs to be done and it's time-consuming. Maybe you have them come in twice a month for that and dust and do all of that, and then you just maintain it throughout the rest of the time. Maybe that's what you do in order to have a maid. Of course, budget it in. That was my number 4. Budget it in. Make sure that you can afford to do so. And maybe that's something, if you can't right now, maybe that's something that you work towards. Maybe you're like, okay, so I really want a maid, so I'm going to work hard to have blank and do it. And then just be okay with not wanting to spend your efforts on cleaning your house. Being frugal doesn't mean you have to do all. That's not what it means. It just means that you are very aware of where your money gets spent, and it only gets spent where it serves you. So be okay with not being able to do it all. If you have made a conscious decision that you are going to have a frugal lifestyle, even if you're starting today and you already have a maid and you're just like, hey, the maid is the one thing I can't live without because she helps me out so much, because you're taking on so much more. You're taking on and running your household like you're running a business. So you're taking on so much more. Being a business owner, excuse me, is hard because you do all the things. And if you don't have people hired and in place to do some of these things, they fall onto you. So think of it that way. If this is something that you can delegate and pay somebody to come in twice a week and clean house for you, that's amazing. That is amazing. Do it. If that's what makes you happy and brings you peace of mind and gives you the right headspace to do and handle everything else. All right. So if you have a maid and you want to live frugal, keep it. If you need to get a maid, shop around. That's all I can tell you. Shop around and get a good rate. Figure out what you absolutely want the maid to do. What is absolutely things that you cannot get to on a regular basis. Have them do that. All right. Guys, I talked about this kind of stuff and more. I'm going to be putting up some recipes. If you've got leftover turkey, I'm going to be putting up a recipe this weekend or this week, probably in the next day or two, with turkey leftovers. It's hot turkey sandwiches. That's over in my VIP Facebook group. Get over there, get into that, and get over there. The link is in the description of whatever video you're watching. I will see you guys all tomorrow. Have an amazing day.